Space is a huge place, and as we continue to make keen observations on the expanse of this great unknown, we've come to find a lot of weird, wonderful, and unusual things out there. From black holes that can gobble up whole galaxies, to planets so dense that diamonds are considered a surplus, these places in our tiny blue dot perspective can be quite overpowering. Today we're looking at the most terrifying places in the universe that will blow your mind. Number 10, Tinker Bell Triplet. The Tinker Bell Triplet, or the system known as the Bird, is composed of two massive spiral galaxies and a third irregular galaxy located 650 million light-years away. This phenomenal find reveals the three galaxies merging, which are increasingly rare to document. Using the VLT, or Very Large Telescope of the European Southern Observatory, an international team of astronomers discovered this stunning rare case of a triple merger, which they dubbed the Bird, although it is also often referred to as the Cosmic Tinker Bell, due to how the merging galaxies resemble the Tinker Bell fairy character from Peter Pan. Considering that the nature of this triple fusion involves interacting systems in direct collision, forming stars at a frantic rate, it's best to say that viewing it from afar would be much better than the rate of pandemonium occurring in the system's actual space. Number 9, the doomed WASP, 12b. The hottest transiting extrasolar planet yet discovered by scientists, WASP, 12b is approximately 600 light-years away, within the Auriga constellation, and is already considered a doomed planet. Also known as Hot Jupiter, WASP 12b is a giant gaseous planet 2 times the size of Jupiter, but is very close to its own star, which is why it's on a death spiral. It's so close to its Sun, that it orbits in just 26 hours, in contrast, our Earth takes 365 days to orbit. According to scientists, WASP 12b has less than 3 million years left before it goes into orbital decay and spirals towards its star, getting totally destroyed in the process. Scientists have discovered that the planet is a carbon-rich gas giant, so much so that rocks present there would be made of pure carbon, such as graphite or diamonds. But before you can think of how great it would be to harvest rocks from a planet full of diamonds, due to its extremely close orbit to its star, it has one of the lowest densities for exoplanets, with extreme gravity causing enormous tidal forces that is currently stretching the planet into the shape of an egg. This is all happening before it eventually gets completely devoured by its own star. Number 8, Ghost Head Nebula. NGC 2080 is a star-forming region in the Large Magellanic Cloud, a satellite galaxy of our own Milky Way galaxy at a distance of 168,000 light-years. When it was discovered in 1834 by John Frederick William Herschel, he noted 2 distinct white patches called the Eyes of the Ghost, which is why this nebula is also called the Ghost Head Nebula. The Ghost Head Nebula, which has a diameter of 50 light-years, is formed by several young stars and dust clouds, that makes the whole region look ominously intimidating. Number 7, Galaxy 3C303. In 2011, researchers at the University of Toronto found a supermassive electric current emanating from a cosmic jet 2 billion light-years from Earth. At 1018, 10 to the 18th power, amperes, the current is the strongest ever observed, equivalent to 1 trillion bolts of lightning. The current signature was located in a galaxy called 3C404, and is believed to derive from magnetic fields from a colossal black hole at the galaxy's core that's generating the current powerful enough to light up this cosmic jet and drive interstellar gases to distances of 150,000 light-years. Number 6, Cat's Eye Nebula. The Cat's Eye Nebula, also known as NGC 6543, is a planetary nebula more than 3,000 light-years from Earth. This dying star, showing remnants of its glowing gas, shows what seems like a cat's eye. Imagery from Hubble's advanced camera for surveys actually revealed the main eye pattern of 11 or more concentric rings, or shells, with each ring seen as a spherical bubble being projected onto the sky, providing its bright outer edge glow. This effect is possibly caused by processing jets from a binary central star system, which we see as the cat's eye itself. Number 5, Spooky Nebula. Located along the plane of the Milky Way at the edge of the Cepheus Flare Molecular Cloud Complex some 1,200 light-years away is an interstellar field of stars and dust that really look like ghostly apparitions. SH2-136, also known as the Ghost Nebula, is an illuminated dark nebula that looks spookier than it actually is. This nebula shows dense cores collapsing in the early stages of star formation, filling up this sector with royal constellations and starlight reflecting clouds. Number 4, Witch Head Nebula. IC 2118, also known as Witch Head Nebula, is an extremely faint reflection nebula believed to be an ancient supernova remnant or gas cloud illuminated by the supergiant star Rigel in the Orion constellation. Located 900 light-years from Earth, the formation appears to be a witch's face screaming out into space, with the dust particles reflecting a pale blue light due to carbon monoxide emission within the molecular clouds and star formation, giving the form its eerie feel. If there's one thing we need to look out for when exploring outer space, it's creepy space witches who might be in the mood for some space explorers for brunch. Number 3, Flaming Space Skull. Located within the Perseus cluster, a cluster of galaxies in the constellation Perseus some 240 million light-years away, is what appears to be a flaming space skull out in space. But before we mark the Perseus galaxy cluster as a no-visit zone for our descendants, the documented image of this flaming skull is actually an image taken from NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory, which took the image of the Perseus cluster of galaxies in X-ray imagery. Radio emission is taken in by the Very Large Array as red, which is why the cluster looks like a flame-filled skull out in space. Number 2, Hand of God. Considered by cosmic standards as a supernova remnant, NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory released images in June 2021 of a remarkable cosmic structure that has been called a cosmic hand hitting a wall. This Hand of God nebula is a distant nebula about 35 light-years away, which resembles a giant, cosmic hand reaching through space towards a wall of red gas. This is actually the MSH 15-52, a structure that is remnants of an exploded star, colliding with a wall of gas at almost 9 million miles per hour. Light from this explosion is estimated to have reached Earth 1,700 years ago, and is still expanding into space. Jets from a binary central star system, which we see as the cat's eye itself. Number 1, Eye of Sauron. If there's one image you'd rather not see out in deep dark space, it's an eye looking back at you. Especially if it looks like the Eye of Sauron. This fiery swirl, known as just that, the Eye of Sauron, is actually a planetary nebula known as ESO 456-67. The different gases and opacities translate this sector into a stunning, multi-wavelength view that looks like an eye looking right back into the galaxy. This nebula is emitted by a dying red giant star, and seems to be looking right at us from 10,000 light-years away. So, what do you think about the most terrifying places in the universe that will blow your mind? Let us know in the comments below. Stay energized.